Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 155. I'm your host, Rico, with my co-host...
Dane.
Just Dane?
Dane. Yeah, I don't know. You're just Rico, so why do I have to be Dane Cody? I just want to be Dane.
I guess so, that's true.
Yeah, nobody knows
Rico
who you are.
Ferrari.
There
That's
you
not
go.
my last name.
No, it's close-ish, I guess.
I guess people know your last name, so I guess it's not a big deal if they know mine. Ferreira. There you go. Rico Ferreira. It doesn't sound as good. Dane Cody has a flow to it.
I guess that's true. See, that's the thing I don't like about my name, is that there isn't a flow to it. It's just Dane. Like, it's not quite two syllables, but it's not quite one syllable. It's this weird, like, Dane. Like,
Dane.
Yeah. Like, yours is like
Dane
a nice
Cody.
Rico. Like, it's, you know, you get that nice two-syllable crap going on. Yeah. Anyways.
Or we can go with my real name, Ricardo.
See, that's even better. It flows so nice. Hey, I'm a Ricardo. You know, and
I
you
hate
can
it so much.
Really? See, that's interesting.
Ricardo. I
Hey.
used to get make fun of as a kid in school.
Yeah, see, and nobody ever gets my name right, so you're on the phone, you're like, what's your name? Dane. Oh, hey, Dwayne. No, not Dwayne, Dane. Oh, hey, Dave. No, what the fuck, man? Like, I'm not Dave. Like, oh.
Actually, speaking of people screwing up names, I had a customer calling me Rika. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I'm in your face. Like, that's like a female name.
Yeah, I email clients, and they'll email me back and write my name wrong in the email back to me after I've signed my name in the email. At this point, I'm just like, well, yep, sure. Call me whatever the fuck you want. I don't give a shit anymore. So anyways.
So, if you've never been here before, people, this is obviously the name podcast where we go off about our names for at least a couple hours every week. No, seriously.
No, we do not.
This is Geekoholics Anonymous, and we get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, and or whatever the hell we like. Welcome new listeners. Welcome old listeners. Thank you everyone out there who's left reviews for us on iTunes. We have tripled our reviews since we started the push, I guess about a month ago now.
Ooh.
With me annoying everyone to jump through, oh man, the painful hoops of reviewing the podcast on iTunes.
Yeah, iTunes is a pain in the ass.
But man, does it honestly, it
helps.
works.
It works.
Like, we get more
thing.
downloads because of it. Like, whatever
People
it
are
does.
getting it in their ear holes.
Yeah, it's so.
There you go.
And we know, like, me and you are Android. I think the majority of people I even know are Android. So, but that ecosystem just holds so much power when it comes to podcasting.
Yeah, there's a
Which is
lot of
fine.
people that are on it, and a lot of people use it as their podcast service. Also, a lot of podcast services use it as their like their library and how they get podcasts as well. And so
nothing against Apple. I love iPhones. I'm Android because I get it free through work. So,
I just
moving
like their walled garden.
Moving along. If you've never been here before, we usually start the show with some what you've been playing, getting some news and stuff, our public service announcements, free for all section, and of course a little BS, which we have already delved deep into.
How much we hate our names.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything too exciting to share about this past weekend. It flew by. We had a birthday party.
Nice. A child's birthday party, I assume?
No, it was an adult birthday party.
Wow, look at you.
But it was like a family thing, trampoline.
Bouncy castle.
Like that. Yeah.
Nice.
No bouncy castle.
Oh, okay.
Adeline my daughter wants a trampoline now.
Way to get my hopes up.
She's like, yeah, I want one for my birthday. Which comes up soon. She loved it.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They are pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't really have much else to report. It was pretty chill.
Yeah, mine was not all that eventful either.
wake
It was
up.
a nice weekend though, so I mean, I did
Oh, it
get
was
to enjoy
beautiful.
some sunshine. Went down to the beach, had a pint on the beach.
Yeah, we did that too.
Yeah,
We also went to the beach. We have a beach like literally 2 minutes away from our house, so
nice.
which is really nice, which makes me, I don't know, we've been humming and hawing about potentially selling the house and moving.
Really?
Oh man, there's so many cool things by us, and not in love with the idea, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's get into what this show is about and talk about some video games.
Oh, is that what this is about?
Well, for the most part.
Oh.
Sometimes we talk about tech. Sometimes I rant and rave like a crazed lunatic.
I thought that was every week, but
Well, yeah, I guess so. Dane,
yo,
what you been playing?
I beat Far Cry 5 this weekend.
I saw that.
So I had 2 goals this weekend. I've been trying to set more goals for myself in my life because, especially fun goals, not so much like work goals and shit, because like that shit gets
who cares about that?
yeah, like that stuff gets set for
That's
me regardless, right? But like goals, especially like weekend goals, because like I feel like too many times I dive into a weekend, especially one where I don't have like a lot of plans going on, and then like I come out of the other side and I feel like I didn't accomplish anything that I wanted to do. So like this weekend I went in and I was like, okay, I want to beat Far Cry 5. I'm right there. I'm I'm so close. I'm like most of the way done to the point where I can, fight Faith, and she's the last one, and then I just have to fight the father, and that's going to be the end of that. So I was like, okay, that's one of my goals for this weekend, is to get that done. And the other goal for my weekend was to go see Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, Infinity War, and those were my 2 goals, and I finished them both.
Some good goals.
So I finished them both. So we'll talk about Avengers later, but for now,
Yeah, we'll talk about that in our free for all section.
I beat Far Cry 5.
Nice.
And I mean, I should say I beat the story in Far Cry 5. I saw a lot of credits. Oh my god, that game has to have like the longest credits in the world. So yeah, I credits rolled. That much of the game is complete. I did not finish all of the side stuff. I didn't 100% find all the lighters and find all the comic books and everything like that. No, but I beat the story.
Yeah, I didn't 100% all the collectibles and everything either.
I will say that I'm not going to get into spoilers, but I'm just going to say I was not a fan of the end boss. I thought it was kind of a lame fight. Faith's fight was whatever. I don't know. It was fine. That game I enjoyed. I really like, but it is easily at its best when it is acting like a giant sandbox for me to jump in a helicopter, go blow some shit up, and just have fun with it, versus when it's trying to shove a story down my throat. I thought that part of it, and if you've listened to the cast before, then that's kind of how I feel, and unfortunately finishing it didn't make me feel any different. In fact, actually kind of really disliked that end boss to the point where I was like, I'm really going to be happy when this is over, because then I can hopefully just go back and play in the sandbox and not have any more story shit to do.
Yeah.
And I can totally definitely see myself, in all honesty, going back into that and messing around in it, because it is a lot of fun. I loved getting in a helicopter and they made helicopters fun in that game. I would just fly around, shoot rockets at dudes, blow stuff up. That part of it is so good. And then when you're in the middle of that, to have a bad storyline either haul you out of it or just crash into you in the game kind of sucks.
It was, like I mentioned it a couple weeks ago, it was really jarring after playing God of War and then playing Far Cry 5.
Right.
And just having like the black load scenes in between story missions and cutscenes.
Yeah, I could see that.
It just ripped me right out of like the I don't know, out of the moment. I hated it. It was so annoying because it just broke the immersion of the whole experience or the tension or the feeling of the moment. It was like something's going on and then black screen, spinny icon in the corner. I'm like, oh, that's terrible. But I had fun with Far Cry. Like it's a Far Cry game. It's not the best. It's definitely good. Actually, I didn't write it down here.
Good job.
I actually played some Wildlands.
Oh, nice.
That game's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, that game, I feel like it has like come into its own so much since launch. Like when it launched, we both said this game is a lot of fun. It's a giant sandbox. Again, don't really. And in that game, like the story is an aside. Like it's not in your face. It's not super ripping you out and crashing sandbox into you. Like it's essentially there to make the sandbox a thing.
But it doesn't have the ridiculousness of Far Cry. It's just more serious.
Right. And it is awesome.
I don't know what it is about it, but when I was playing it, I noticed my frame rate had gone up by at least like 10, 15 frames a second.
They've optimized that game a lot.
Yeah, I was playing it and I'm like, man, this is like, I was like mid 60s to like low 70s, and I was like high 70s into the 80s.
Very nice.
And I'm like, and I've got everything cranked up, so I'm like, sweet. But man, that game's really good. And I was like thinking for a second, I'm like, this game might look actually better than Far Cry. They're not the same engine, are they?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
I don't think they are.
I'm not sure if Wildlands, like, I want to say Wildlands might be in the Snowdrop engine, which is the same engine that they used in,
isn't Snowdrop EA? The Battlefield games use?
You might be right. Hold on. Fine, I'll look it up. I know. No, Snowdrop is theirs. It's using Anvil.
Oh no, Frostbite. That's
Frost. Yeah, I was like, man, you threw me off. I was like, no,
Snowdrop, Frostbite. It's all same shit.
Snowdrop is what they used in The Division. Ghost Recon Wildlands is using their Anvil Next engine,
and Far Cry is definitely a different engine.
Yes,
because they advertise it at the start of the game.
So Ghost Recon Wildlands and Assassin's Creed Origins use the same engine. And actually, Rainbow Six Siege also uses that engine.
Yeah, I was like, honestly, jumping back in, I was super impressed how good it looked. I'm like, man, I didn't remember this game looking this good, and I really want to get back to it. Don't get me wrong, I had my fun with Far Cry 5, but by the time I got to the end, it was like I just kind of wanted it to be over.
Yeah, at least like that was the thing. Like, I didn't want the sandbox part of it to be over. Like, I still wanted to play in the sandbox. I was still enjoying driving cars around and having my friends show up and blow stuff up, and like that part of it I still really enjoyed. I was not sick of that. It was just the like all of a sudden being yanked out of that to some half story thing where I ended up in a bunker at the end of it trying to like fight through it to get to the end, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that kind of stuff. Like, that was the part of it that was weak, in my opinion. But like, I still got, like, I think my game clock at the end of it all, I still think I played like 24 hours or something like that. Was like,
yeah, I was out of 25.
Yeah, like that's still like incredible value. Like,
oh yeah,
the fact of the matter is, like,
I had fun.
It was a game that was given to me by Ubisoft. So like, but that being said, if I paid for that game,
Oh, I
would have easily got my money for it, like my money out of it. So
we luckily were both provided with copies of it. And I'm pretty sure we mentioned that when we first talked about the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have still bought it regardless.
Oh, absolutely.
I just have such high expectations for Far Cry, and it was just so much the same formula.
Right.
That I couldn't help but, like, when it ended, I was just a little disappointed. I was hoping they would have done more or added more stuff or innovated some more, which they didn't, which is fine. The formula works, but it's to be honest, at the end, it kind of felt like Assassin's Creed was feeling. It was just feeling like a little tired and, oh man, it's the same wheels I'm spinning here. I've done this dance before, and it's kind of like, you know what? I think I need a break.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like before Origins came out, like with Assassin's Creed, I was just done. I'm like, I don't even care anymore. I was used to be super engaged in the story and hyped for every release, and then it's like, the best thing they did was take a break. I think Far Cry needs to take a break.
Yeah, or they need to look at I think they just need to go in and figure out like where they want to take that game.
Just
like
add more activities, fix the co-op so it's not stupid like it was.
That was actually one of I think one of my biggest not complaints necessarily, but disappointments. How about
co-op
with that game is
just a disaster.
The way you play co-op in that game made it virtually useless to me.
Especially considering when you have a game you released a year before,
right?
That has 4-player co-op, and when a mission's completed, it's completed for everyone.
Yeah, like the way that Wildlands handles that stuff is awesome. And like I get that they're different games, and there's a much heavier story element to Far Cry, and it's technically you're supposed to be a single person in Far Cry versus in Wildlands you are a team, and even if you're not playing with people, you're still playing with AI that makes up your team, so the game is kind of designed for 4 people all the time.
It's true.
Like I get all of those things, but I don't know, the way, like I said, the way that it was set up in Far Cry 5, it just made it almost useless to me because I didn't want to bother. I didn't want to bother jumping in friends' games, and I didn't really care if they came into mine because what's that going to do for me? I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it would be kind of cool to mess around for a little while, but like ultimately they're not going to get anything out of it really besides a little bit of money and like some quote unquote experience, except that, oh wait, you're not.
I think
whereas that's about it, right?
I think me and Teacup played it like 90% co-op. But yeah.
Well, that's fair. So yeah, so like I didn't even jump in the co-op at all because I was just like, what's the point?
So when we weren't playing together though, because we were primarily playing my game,
right?
In his spare time, he had to go back and redo a lot of stuff.
Right. Which sucks.
Like when we beat the game on my campaign. And I think
he had to go back and beat the game on his. Did you go back and help him out?
I don't know if he actually has. No, we've kind of almost dropped it cold turkey.
Right.
And I'll get to that. He's been busy. Plus, Destiny just came out, so.
Yeah, I actually completely forgot that Destiny did just come out. I actually just finished the very first mission in the Warmind literally before we started recording this podcast while I was waiting for you. That game is like, there was a bunch of crap. I had to like go spend probably 20 minutes just running around, like collecting crap and stuff like that I hadn't gone into. I guess we can
move along from Far Cry and just get into Destiny.
Yeah.
Warmind, the new expansion came out. Excuse me.
We're just trying to kill Rick.
I don't know what happened there. If you tuned in last week, I was all on the fence like, I'm not going to play it. I didn't realize that on PC there was no single expansion. So it was if you had the expansion pass, you had both.
Oh, yeah.
for some reason, I thought I didn't realize that I had it. So I was like, just didn't even care. I wasn't even hyped.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did.
Like, I bought the, like, not the collector's edition, but the digital deluxe or whatever. Essentially the one that came with both the first expansions. Because there was the one where it was just the base game, and then they did one where it included the 2 expansions in it as well. And that was the one that I bought. So, like, I was like, well, I already paid for them both, so I'm going to play them regardless. Cause
yeah, I didn't realize that until the weekend. Yeah. Teacup brought it up to my attention. He's like, you probably have Warmind already? I'm like, oh, well, okay, I guess we're going to play it then. You were saying you hadn't played for a while, so you logged in. And did you end up beating the Osiris campaign?
Yeah, I beat it.
Okay.
I beat it myself, and then I actually went back and helped your brother-in-law Vert beat it as well. Him and I finished the final boss.
Funny you mentioned his name because we were playing last night.
Oh, very nice. So, yeah, no, I like I said, I just started it today. It's been, oh man, I probably haven't touched Destiny 2 and it might not be since last year, to be honest with you, or early this year.
I don't think it was that long ago for me. I checked in every few weeks to get the clan engrams.
Right.
But it was probably like a month or probably even 2 that I hadn't checked in. I know Trevor hadn't played in a while. He actually he ended up getting booted out of the clan.
That's funny. Yeah. So yeah, there was a whole bunch of stuff to grab just because that's what happens in Destiny. Hey, congratulations. So I think my light level I was just high enough to start the Warmind mission. I was like 312, I think. I didn't even realize that there was a power level requirement because I was already at max. So yeah, there was a recommended of 310. So I was like, oh well, I luckily just kind of sneaked under that radar. Yeah. But whatever. And of course, it's a new expansion, so the first weapon I picked up was already better than the weapon that I had. So
there's a level cap increase to 30. The power level has gone up to 385.
Oh, okay. So it's 330 for weapon. Wait,
no.
When you say 330,
no, level 30. Did I say 330?
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
I
okay.
say level 30 because we were capped at 25 from the last expansion.
Right.
So this one goes from 25 to 30, and then the power level goes up to 385.
Okay.
I have not beaten it. I've pretty much done, I think, half of it. Apparently, it's only like 4 missions long.
Whoa, so it's even shorter than the last one?
It's pretty small. Yeah, people were complaining already. The internet was ablaze. It is the highest upvoted post on the Destiny subreddit. Yeah, people are definitely pissed off. Again,
yeah.
I'm neither here nor there because I haven't beaten it. I do appreciate all the exotic weapons have been like majorly buffed.
Right, okay.
And are actually fun to use again.
That's fair.
Like Graviton Lance, I think it is, that pulse rifle, the Void pulse rifle that has that really cool sound effect.
Right.
It does burst damage or like elemental burst when you kill enemies with precision shots. So they end up exploding. And then they actually send out like little seeker missiles from the explosions, and they can essentially like chain react like a crowd of enemies, and everyone will just start blowing up like crazy. Right. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, fair enough.
And that's not the only one. I think they've made changes to like every exotic, whether it be new effects, new powers, new perks, or modding the perks, or if not, just straight up buffing damage.
Right.
There's Scout Rifle.
Okay.
Skyburner's Oath. It's like the gun that all the Cabal use. It's an exotic. It basically shoots like little mini heat-seeking rockets now.
Oh.
It's pretty awesome.
That's pretty dope.
I haven't been able to use all of them because I don't know if it was just a crash of new players playing, but I couldn't use the Destiny app to move my stuff around and or the item manager that I use like Chrome plugin to move items around.
Right, okay.
Because as far as Destiny was concerned, I didn't have any characters.
Oh. Well, there you go.
Even though I had three like fully leveled max characters. I did get to level 29. I'm almost 28 or 30. Going backwards when I'm an idiot. I'm 29, almost level 30.
Right.
And I just inched up to like, I think 340 or 343 power level.
Okay.
Apparently, the grind is real in this again. They've really slowed progression. Some hardcore people are pretty happy about that because with Osiris, everyone burned through it quite quickly.
Right.
For me, who doesn't have the time I used to have to grind, that was never my problem with Destiny, like getting stuff too quickly.
Yeah.
My problem with Destiny was just running out of new stuff to do.
Yeah, it's not that you can't always go back and just do everything over and over and over again. That part of it's fine. It's like you said, like it's the doing the new things. After you run a mission 5 or 6 times, it's like, okay, I've seen this. This is fun, but what's new and kind of exciting that I can do, you know?
Like, the huge complaint on the Reddit right now is that there's 3 new strikes.
Right.
If you're on PlayStation, 2 new strikes for everybody else.
Right.
And the 2 strikes are just recycled from the new expansion.
Oh,
so
okay.
They're not even like new. Whereas the one new, true 100% new strike that isn't part of the campaign is on PlayStation. So people are pissed.
No, I mean, that's what Sony paid them for. So, I mean, it makes sense. Like, I don't know why you're upset. I get that. I don't know. I get that you're angry, I guess, with it. But at the same time, like, it's. I don't know. Like I get it. Like
the issue is with the new expansion being so short, and the only true like the expansion is new content. The missions are new content. The adventures are new content, but the strikes are essentially those missions from the expansion as strikes. So you've already done that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean? Like they're just recycled. And the PS4 one is like 100% new, which isn't part of the expansion storyline. So yeah, that's where people are super pissed. I do, like I said, I love the changes to the exotic weapons. That's awesome. They have a new emote wheel. You can equip up to 4 emotes. There's more storage space. They've totally changed Crucible. I haven't even gone to Crucible. There's like a new ranking system there.
Right.
Of course, there's new gear. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's Destiny, and I like Destiny, but at the same time, I'm probably going to burn through this really quick and be done with it.
Yeah, well...
I don't know.
It gives you time to play some other stuff, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to commit going super hardcore to max power level on this.
Right.
I do like the few missions that I played so far. Of course, like all new missions, they're very pretty, cool new locales.
The raid... What are they calling it? The
raid lair.
The raid lair.
I doubt it.
I think it's the dumbest thing that
our clan
they're
runs.
Doing that.
It's not bad. The people who like raiding don't have a complaint with that.
Yeah.
No, because then you can run the raid and you're at the raid location, and then you can do the raid layers right from there without having to leave or go to other locations. So people aren't upset. They're not upset with that.
Interesting. Okay.
Of course. Would they rather have completely separate new raids? Yeah, but I guess I've never done it, but it's supposed to be good, and having one good multi-leveled refined raid is probably better than having multiple raids varying in quality, because, you know, like, what was there, 3 raids, 4 raids in the old game?
Yeah, there was a few, right? So
like nobody liked doing the Hive one.
I didn't do any of them, so I don't really know, but
I've done them all on the first one. I've done none on Destiny 2, but at the same time, I didn't have a kid.
Right.
When
you had time, is what you're saying.
It's just hard. I'm sure our clan would like drag us through if we went and watched some videos so that we're not totally oblivious to the mechanics.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to like experience without it just being spoiled and dragged through.
Quick,
right?
come here. Quick, don't do that. Get over here. Stand there. Shoot that.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sure it would still be fun, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It was quite the experience, like learning with new groups and stuff.
But then again, like you said, you have 12 hours to learn the raid and do it over 4 or 5 times, right? Like that's the problem.
That's not something I can do now. That's
no, I don't have that kind of time.
An option. Not even an option.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if they did like a raid easy mode, which essentially kind of turned it into a strike.
Right.
Maybe you didn't get the good raid gear, or like a lesser raid gear.
Right.
But like where it wasn't the difficulty of the raid where you don't have to be so coordinated.
Fair enough.
Then the people who don't have hardcore clans could just queue up with people and run through it.
Right.
Like baby mode. They can even like make it like embarrassing or something. But then people can see, maybe they can get like introduced to the mechanics like in a easier method. I don't know. I think that would be kind of cool.
Fair enough.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
it's Destiny Warmind. I had it, so I played it, and
yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep playing it. Like for me, it's like some of the stuff that I was kind of. I mean, I know that they've made lots of changes since the last time I played it, but like one of the things that I was like, kind of threw me was like the run speed and stuff that they changed, all of that kind of stuff a while back. Which I didn't mind the fact that you move a little faster and you I'm okay with that. You run
I didn't
a little
even
faster.
notice, to be honest.
Oh, really? Yeah, I know. I totally noticed that. That was one of the things I like got in. I'm like, man, I'm really booking it. And I was like, oh, right. They did that whole upgrade like a month or two ago where they changed the run speed and everything. So I appreciated that. So, yeah.
So I played, moving along from Destiny, I played some more Nino Kuni 2.
Nice. And how are you continuing to enjoy it?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah?
The only problem is now that I got Destiny, and I'm going to name a couple other things too.
Right.
I got Yakuza 6.
Oh,
I got
boy.
Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Nice.
I got
for the Switch.
SteamWorld. I got SteamWorld Dig 2 on Switch as well.
Okay.
And I'm just like all over the place right now. But I am 6 hours into Nino Kuni.
Oh, so you've not even fucking scratched the surface is what you're saying.
No, I've just learned. I've unlocked some more stuff. There's like an army fighting mode, like I don't even know if you can really call it strategic. It's almost like a paper, rock, scissors kind of overworld battling against different armies.
Okay.
So I'm close to unlocking the kingdom builder mechanic. I'm not quite there yet.
Right.
I've added a few new people to my party. I progressed the story a bunch.
Okay.
I do like the combat a lot. And actually on the weekend, I was like, I want to play more. Like, so I was actually getting that actual natural,
that
I want to
itch.
play it as opposed to, I guess I got to play this, right?
Right. That's important, man. Like you need to have that itch, especially
So-
with a game like that is going to be hundreds of hours long.
That's the good thing. But the bad thing is that I'm almost kind of also actively stopping myself from playing it because I feel like I could beat everything else I named before I could even beat Nino Kuni 2.
Oh, so in other words, the time sink is almost holding you back.
The time thing is the only thing that makes me not want to play it, but I'm really enjoying every bit I've played now. And like I said, I'm 6 hours. I'm still just barely scratching the surface.
Right.
The combat's gotten a little trickier, but I haven't had any problems with it. I did fight my first like really tough guy that, well, took out a couple of my party members, but you know, as you die, you just turn into the next party member.
Right. Oh, okay.
Because they all kind of just fight and go on their own. There's actually like an item, like can't remember what they call it. Maybe it's a tactics tablet.
Okay.
It's kind of like, do you remember? Was it Final Fantasy 12 that played like an MMO sort of?
Yeah, it felt
with your
a lot
party,
like
and they
an
did their
MMO.
own thing, and you could kind of program what they do.
Yep, that was totally
Yeah.
12.
That's exactly what Nino Kuni does. Except for it's more real time than Final Fantasy 12 was, because it's actual light power attack, heavy attack, range attack, dodge, and it's all like real time.
Okay.
But with the tactics tablet, you can modify what your party members do, whether they're like all out attack, healing, yada yada. And you can play with that to kind of balance if you find that like you're having trouble with certain instances or whatever.
Right.
I think I've gotten to a point where I actually have to mess with that and get my party members to do particular stuff. Not that they're like getting their asses whooped, but that I'm getting more into trouble now. So it's actually like before I was just I could just mash away with every fight. Now, not so much. I actually have to block, dodge, and, use appropriate attacks for the enemies.
Right. You can't just like mash your way through it.
Yeah. So at first I was kind of concerned, thinking that, is this all this is going to be? I'm just going to power level my way through this and then just basically button mash to the end. But no, it's definitely, that's not good. That tactic is not going to work.
Right.
So a little more of the depth is starting to reveal itself in the combat. And it's a pretty game. It runs really freaking well. I got it on PC. Normally I would get a game like this on PS4, but or on the console. But I got it for $27, so I couldn't say no.
Sweet.
I will have more to say about it as I play more. It might be on hiatus for a little bit.
Okay. I picked up Moss on the weekend.
Oh, you did?
I haven't played it yet. I haven't played it yet, but
nice.
I wanted to get that thing ready because I really do want to play that.
Well, you'll have to play that and report back to us next week.
Yeah, definitely.
I might have to freaking pick that up now just so I could talk about it too. I have played the demo though, so I'm a little bit ahead of you on that.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
So, I got Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Nice.
It was so graciously provided to me by Nintendo, which was nice of them to get me a copy of that. I never played Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze on the Wii U. At that point when it had come out, I think I was done with my Wii U.
Right.
I heard people say it was probably the best Donkey Kong Country game.
It's a pretty good game.
Because there was multiple. Was there not one on Wii as well? Or was it just Wii U?
I want to say there was a Donkey Kong Country game on the Wii, and then Tropical Freeze was the first and only one on the Wii U. So. Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure there was.
Yeah, Donkey Kong Country is Wii U. Yeah. Donkey Kong Country Returns came out on the Wii and the 3DS. So there was one. I also skipped that one as well. I think I've played every other version up until that point. Again, the Wii, I was kind of done with it, and especially with the Wii U, regardless of all the positive stuff that I had heard. This, I believe, Tropical Freeze was made by Retro Studios.
Retro, yeah.
It is pretty freaking phenomenal. It's a really good game. It's an awesome platformer. It is gorgeous.
There's a lot of people that have said this might be the best Donkey Kong Country game they've ever made.
I could totally see that. I've only done the first world.
Right.
The big addition to this version, actually, I'll rewind a bit. If no one's ever played this before, it's a side-scrolling platformer, collect-a-thon, multiple routes in your levels, secrets galore. You play as Donkey Kong. You team up with the other Kongs. Excuse me, I'm going to cough.
Wonderful. As he coughs away, you play as... The one difference for the Switch version is that there is Cranky Kong, and he can kind of almost act like a...
Wrong.
What?
It's Funky Kong.
Funky Kong, sorry.
Funky Kong. You can play as Funky Kong, which is kind of like an easy mode.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, this game is pretty challenging. Even in the first world, it's already revealed it requires some skill to get through some of these levels.
Yep.
Is a combination of jumping, using your different buddies' abilities. Like Dixie Kong does kind of like a Yoshi float. She spins her hair when you hold down the jump button, so you kind of get that dip, cool. And then you float up in the air, so she extends your jumps to get to hard to reach places. I actually haven't even seen Diddy Kong and Cranky Kong, which I know are in there, so I don't even know what their powers are. I haven't gotten that far. Apparently, I think Diddy Kong like lets you fly around, and Cranky Kong does like I think like a cane bounce or something.
Oh, nice.
I could be wrong. But yeah, it's beautiful. It is a beautiful game. The music is amazing on the Switch. I'm like, I can't believe I'm playing this on the Switch. It surprises me. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a full console. I keep thinking I'm like playing the 3DS or something.
No,
I always forget.
Definitely a full console.
Even though I've played Mario Odyssey and Zelda, I just keep forgetting how impressive the system is.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a handheld, but it also does everything you need it to. So, like playing the games.
Sorry, I coughed there again. Man, I don't know what's going on in my throat.
You mowed the lawn.
Yeah, it was a bad idea.
Yeah, now you're all like got all your stuff.
My allergies and shit.
Yeah.
So Funky Kong, like I said, was kind of like an easy mode. He can land on spikes, because he has a surfboard that he puts under his feet, so he isn't damaged by spikes. He has a double jump, and he also does like a floating jump. The difference with him too is that he doesn't have any team ups. Right. So the other characters are just, if you're playing as Funky Kong, they don't show up. So when you start the game, you can choose to play with Funky Kong.
Okay.
And if you do that, it basically disables them. But at any time during the menu, you can go back to choose DK.
Oh, okay.
So I started with Funky Kong, and I'm like, okay, I want to see what DK is like. And then I ended up going back to Funky Kong because I kind of almost want to just play through the game with Funky Kong and then go back and do like hard mode.
Kind of get your skills with, and figure out the game.
Yeah, and get my bearings. Because to be honest, people say that this is also a really hard platformer.
It's challenging, man.
Yeah, it's not unfair or impossible, as I've heard, but it can be a challenge.
Did this game also come out on 3DS?
No, the last one did.
Okay, because I have whatever the 3DS one is.
The last one was the only... Donkey Kong Country Returns came on 3DS and Wii U. This one's just Wii U and Switch.
Got it.
It is, like I said, a fantastic game. I slept on it on Wii U. Not that I slept on Wii U. I just think it was late in the Wii U's life cycle, and I was kind of done with the Wii U at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super happy I got this game. I've been playing my Switch now. Actually, and I even got, like I mentioned earlier, I got SteamWorld Dig 2 because I liked it so much on PC. We talked about that last week or the week before.
Yep.
So I decided, I'm like, no, I'm going to stop playing this because I really like this, but I want to play it on the Switch.
Right.
So I also picked that up. So now my Switch is like back in full rotation because I hadn't really been touching it a lot lately.
Right. Okay. I honestly haven't like touched my Switch almost at all recently. So I kind of feel you in that regard.
Yeah, Tropical Freeze, man. Check it out. If you didn't play it on the Wii U and you've got a Switch and you're looking for a good platformer, 2D platformer, definitely check it out. It's pretty rad so far. I can tell that it's kind of like when I started playing God of War in the early stages. It's like you could just tell by the quality, attention to detail, and love that was put into this game. You could just tell it's like, okay, this is a pretty special game. Like, this is another tier, another level, right?
Yeah, they did a really good job with that game. I played. That was actually a game that I played when I went to Nintendo here in Vancouver, and was at at Nintendo headquarters there. That was back when they were showing off Tropical Freeze on the Wii U. And it's funny because I played it at a couple preview events, but I never actually got the game for the Wii U. So this might be a great opportunity to, like you said, pick it up and play through it. Because I did play of it was great. I just, for whatever reason, I don't know why, I just didn't pick it up for my Wii U. Which is funny because there's a ton of games for the Wii U. Like, what was I waiting for?
I've been on reset era lately. Don't ask me why. I've been partaking in the forums.
Wow, look at you go.
And a bunch of people were pissed off.
Okay.
About like Nintendo hardcore. So like, oh, another re-release. And they're like all angry. And I'm like,
why would you
thinking to myself, I'm like,
that?
The Switch has already outsold the Wii U in less than a year. And the Wii U was out for 5. I'm like, there's a lot of people that haven't played this game. You may have played it.
Yeah.
And you know it's good. But it's like, why are you poo-pooing a good game being re-released on an awesome system for more people to experience?
Yeah.
I know I would be upset, I guess, because it's like you don't really want to buy it again, and you know it's an awesome game, and now it's kind of like, oh, it's stranded on my Wii U.
So don't buy it again, though. Is like,
well, that's it. That's exactly it.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing where I look at it. Like, if you bought it on the Wii U and you really liked it, if you love it enough that you want to buy it again, then do it.
Yeah.
But don't feel obligated to. Like, whatever.
There's just some negativity around it. They're like, oh, the Switch is not, there's nothing coming out for it. It's not like hitting on all cylinders like it was last year. And I'm like, what are you talking about? The Switch has been killing it. Like every few months there's a fantastic title.
Yeah.
Let alone the one I still can't talk about because it's freaking embargoed. Well, I could talk about it. I have Battle Chasers on Switch as well.
Right.
But that's all I can say. Unfortunately, this publishes before the embargo's up, so...
that's too bad.
I could save it until Friday. I don't know if our fans would like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll wait. It'll give me something to play. Or to talk about next week.
Sweet.
And you should be getting a key for it too soon, right?
I better be. Motherfuckers. I freaking kickstarted that shit.
I think...
No, I can't really. I can't really.
It releases on. I think it releases on Tuesday. So
because I've already got it on PC and I've been playing it a ton and loving the crap out of it.
Yeah,
it's literally just a matter of I'm just waiting for the Switch version to come out because I wanted to play more of it there.
Oh yeah, for sure. So. Yeah, I've got that. I talked about I broke down and ordered Yakuza 6.
Right.
I was playing some Red Dead Redemption on the Xbox One. I got a little farther in that. I'm definitely stopping that, but I'm still impressed at how well it looks and runs.
Don't want to burn out on Red Dead before the game actually comes?
Oh, I might still play it before the other game comes. I just need to play other stuff first.
Oh,
and then,
enough.
Before I was getting into my groove of all this other stuff, I played some more Cuphead because I never ended up beating that.
Right.
That game's freaking fantastic.
It's also freaking hard.
It's not that hard.
No? Just a matter of... You just have to have the patience to be able to...
It's patience and memorization. I don't know if it's that hard.
Okay.
It's fun. It almost feels like a rhythm game, those boss fights. Because you're just performing like a perfect set of motions,
right?
All the while killing the boss. I don't know. That's that game presentation wise, everything about it, gameplay, it's fantastic.
Nice.
And then of course
that makes me happy.
I got SteamWorld Dig 2 on Switch.
Right. You play any more of that, or you still kind of put it on the back burner with all the other stuff that you've been playing, or?
Pardon?
Have you been playing more of that since like last week, or did you kind of put it on the back burner?
No, I just ended up buying it on Switch, and then I got distracted with Tropical Freeze.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah,
but at least you got it on the Switch now.
I was like, I got nothing. And then it's like, now I have like a million games going on.
Right.
I'm like, I need Daddy Daycare or Daddy Sick Day.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
Moving along, I guess we can get into some news, my friend.
Sweet.
Cross-platform. Also PC section. SNK Neo Geo Mini was revealed. We may have talked about it a couple weeks ago. It was teased. Did we talk about it?
They teased something was possibly coming. And
I think it was under like a blanket, and everyone alluded to it being like a mini arcade cabinet.
Which is exactly what it is.
Turns out it's a mini arcade cabinet. It has HDMI out. Apparently it has controller ports as well. It's got a joystick, 4 buttons in the classic Neo Geo placement.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a 3.5-inch LCD screen. Comes preloaded with 40 games.
That's a lot of games. Is there a list anywhere with all of these? Like,
no list, no release date, no pricing.
So annoying. And it also looks like there's going to be a Japanese version and an international version.
Yeah.
This Japanese one
cool,
is
man. If it's not too expensive, I'm all over this.
It does look cool, but I don't know.
I don't know how much I'm thinking.
I want to see a game list first of all.
I'm thinking it's going to be $150 because it's got the screen.
Yeah.
But who knows? They might do something. If it's more than that, forget it. It's dead. It's done.
And it doesn't look like it would be comfortable to play. Is kind of the problem that I have with it.
That's why you plug in a controller and plug it into a TV. That's
right.
for the controller and the screen is for novelty. You're really going to play this on a TV.
I mean, I'm trying to see in the image. It looks like there's Final Fight, Metal Slug.
No, yeah, I'm
which
sure it's going to
version.
have the classics like Samurai Showdown 2,
Fighters 97, King of Fighters 97. It looks like.
Yeah, and it shows Samurai Showdown 2 is one of those ones.
Yeah,
I don't know what the
and
second
Metal
one
Slug
is.
2. It looks like. Who knows what else we'll see?
40 games.
That's a lot of Neo Geo games.
Should be all their best games easily. I don't even know how many Neo Geo games there were.
There's quite a few over the years.
Neo Geo is always that system. That's the one system I don't think I knew anyone who had it.
I knew one guy that had it when I was a kid.
It was super expensive. The games were super expensive.
The games were upwards of $100, sometimes more.
Yeah, I think they were quite
There was a
often,
couple. There was a couple that
$200.
was $200. Yeah, some of the
but it was
the bigger ones.
It was truly the arcade at home.
Because that's why the games were so expensive. Because every time you bought a game, it was essentially an arcade cart that you were buying.
That was the big difference when it was available compared to other systems. No, that's the exact same version as what's in the arcade, as opposed to some watered down version.
Yeah.
So there was always this allure to the Neo Geo. Oh man, Neo Geo. Neo Geo.
Like I said, I knew one guy, rich friend of mine that had a Neo Geo, and even then, he did not have very many games for it. I think he only had 4 or 5 games for it.
Mm-hmm.
At least when I was a kid, and I kind of knew him. But man, I remember going over to his house and playing with these giant, with the giant pads with the joystick. It honestly was by far and away the best way to play arcade games outside of the arcade. That aspect of it was dope. I really liked it a lot. But even now, I don't think I could justify, because even now, the games and stuff are still really expensive. It's hard.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you see this next bit of news?
I heard about it. I hadn't had a chance to actually watch it.
There's actually
there was
early gameplay clip, alpha footage of Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Is this do you know if this was the footage that they were showing last E3 behind closed doors? Because they showed that video last E3 where everybody went, "Oh my god, that thing is still alive and they're still making it."
Yeah, that was like an insane CG trailer.
Yeah, but then they were actually showing the game behind closed doors to press and to other people, but they never released any of that footage. And I'm almost wondering if this is some of that or not.
I do not know because I did not see that behind the scenes footage.
Yeah.
Or hear anything about it, so I didn't know that they showed any gameplay.
Yeah, they did.
It's this short clip shows some ship combat, some 3D fighting combo, bow staff fighting against enemies,
nunchuck fighting too.
It looks quite neat. It's definitely early because you can see it's a little framey and there's a little jank there.
Right.
But I wasn't expecting to see any. I honestly thought this game was like vaporware. That it was never going to come out and that we'd only ever see CG trailers of it being teased every once in a while. But no, they're actually making a game. So that's a good thing.
It's still not out yet.
Still not out, but I'm just surprised. Like, I find it so surprising that they had like actual gameplay. Yeah, I honestly didn't think we were ever going to see that.
I think that knock on wood. I don't know.
Clearly, there's going to be more.
Yeah, I think we'll see more at
E3.
Yeah.
Did I? Yeah, I mentioned I was invited to the press conference, right, for Ubisoft.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We'll see if it's there. I'm sure it will be there. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. You may have heard of it. PUBG. It's just kind of popular game.
That's what I hear. Like, a lot of people like it.
They have disabled item trading on Steam. I guess to cut off third-party sites that have been hosting and marketing in-game, selling and trading skins for real-world money. Obviously, This is not new. It's the same thing that happened in Counter-Strike Go.
It's probably for the best.
And pretty much every game that has items and trading on Steam to a lesser degree. But yeah, apparently there was some abuse going on and bots and weird stuff. So to prevent this from happening, they've just turned it off. So, yeah. Anyway, I just wish they would just get rid of that freaking marketplace. Maybe there wouldn't be any cheaters in PUBG, though. I honestly haven't played PUBG in like ever, so.
Right.
Speaking of PUBG, its best friend Fortnite is doing a pretty cool little crossover this week. They have brought the Infinity War crossover event where basically there's a special mode and Thanos' gauntlet crashes into the map. And if you grab it, you transform into Thanos.
I've been watching some videos of this today. It's kind of ridiculous, man. You run around the map, you find the gauntlet, you like turn into Thanos, and you can run around and do these like crazy moves, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, basically the different power gem or power stones have infinity gem stones, whatever. Have all the different types of powers. Mm-hmm. He doesn't use any guns or anything. He just can leap over tall buildings, do ground pounds, shoot like beams out of the gauntlet.
He seems kind of OP, but in a game like that, it's supposed to be a short thing, where obviously it's not. It's a limited time thing where it's not going to be around forever, and obviously they're not doing any esports with it or anything like that.
Some people have said that it's pretty rad and that they should keep it permanently because it's so much fun, but I haven't had a chance to try it yet. I've updated.
I haven't either.
I want to try it because it looks freaking ass cool. And
talk about Epic even installed Fortnite on my actual PC yet.
Yeah, talk about Epic just being on top of talk about perfect timing. Such a perfect cross promotion. Two of the hottest things in the world right now.
And it just sounds like they did a really good job of all of that. Ultimately, with just Thanos fits well in the game. Like it looks cool. Like it doesn't feel like a terrible thing that they're just trying to shoehorn in. Like it feels pretty natural.
Yeah.
So, which is cool.
Yeah, that's rad. That's pretty cool. I want to check it out. It looks fun. I've seen videos. So, EA had a conference call yesterday or the day before.
That they did.
Talking about a bunch of stuff. One of these things that they talked about was that they are committing to March 2019 release for BioWare's Anthem.
Interesting.
They didn't give a specific date, but I guess it's kind of like it should be out by the end of this quarter, which means March 2019 at the latest.
Right. Because that's the end of their like fourth quarter or whatever.
I have no idea what quarter it is for them, but
next year, whatever it is. Yeah.
It's not surprising. We knew this wasn't coming out this year. I honestly thought it was going to be a fall game of next year, but
I think that it makes sense. They released the last, the name is completely escaping me right now. Mass Effect game. They released that in the spring. Very similar time frame, end of March of last year. So I mean, I think that that's not a bad time for that. You kind of get it away from the fall with all the crazy huge hitters that generally and it gets very crowded as we're looking at the calendar for later on this year. And I think that it's a good spot for it to kind of breathe a little bit, kind of come in. Hopefully there won't be a ton of stuff around it. It'll get the press as well as the time that they're hoping. I think people are going to spend with it. So I mean, I think it's a smart time.
I'm just
personally
watching the reveal trailer for this game again.
Anthem.
Yeah, man,
it looks cool. I'm looking forward to E3 to finding out a lot more because I'm pretty sure we're going to find out a lot more this year if it's coming out that soon.
Stinks is that EA plays in Hollywood, which is nowhere near E3, so I'm not going there, and it's also done by the time I get there.
Do they not pull any of that stuff to the show floor at E3?
Some of the EA stuff ends up being in like Sony and Microsoft's booths, so
right.
We'll see. I'm sure it's going to be somewhere.
Right. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me whoever their console partner is going to be, and I'm sure they're going to have one because it's a giant
Yeah, I believe they already said game. It was a cross-platform game, so
right.
If anything, it could have like exclusive PS4, Xbox stuff is the only real play on that one, so maybe that might determine who has it at their booth.
Uh-huh.
So that's cool. I look forward to hopefully
I don't know why. I probably because like the Mass Effect games were sort of more geared towards PC and Xbox. But I wonder, but in that same earnings call, while we're on the topic of it, in that same earnings call, EA sort of spilled the beans on roughly how many consoles each one of these people has dropped. And it's looking like there's a lot less Xbox Ones out there than originally thought. It sounds like there's roughly 70. I'm trying to find it right now. They dropped the numbers.
Like 70 something million PS4s and 20 something million Xbox Ones.
Yeah, there was 71 million PS4s and 29 million Xbox Ones. Now, the reason that's kind of a big deal is because Microsoft, since essentially the Xbox One has come out, has not given sales numbers. They've said, we're not going to talk about the sales numbers for our consoles. We're going to talk about the numbers of people on our platform.
The complete opposite of their boasting during the 360 generation.
Of course, because whoever's on top wants to brag about it, and whoever is not on top obviously doesn't really want to say.
They're like, we're doing fine. No one's losing jobs. We're making money.
Exactly. But that in and of itself is kind of a big deal because, like I said, we didn't really have any idea of how well the Xbox One was selling. So that kind of gives us an idea that it's like PS4 is outselling it almost 3-1 right now, which is kind of crazy. And I really actually, I know this is funny, like, and I know a lot of people give us, oh, you guys are big PlayStation fanboys. I actually really want the Xbox to do well, because the thing is that when both of those companies are fighting each other and they're close-ish to one another, that's when we see by far and away the best of those companies.
Oh, absolutely.
Like when yeah, that's where we ended up with
of Sony at the start of PS3.
Oh man,
because they were coming off being on the top of PS2, and how terrible they screwed things up, because they're like, oh, we're the best.
Well, and then look at Microsoft coming off of the Xbox 360, right? And it wasn't even that
they repeated Sony's mistakes.
Totally, and it wasn't even so much that they were arrogant. It's just that they couldn't figure out their message. They couldn't get it together. And then Sony came along.
Don't worry, I was
like,
at that E3. It
by
was
the way,
awkward.
We're all about the games. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. You're going to be able to trade your games. You're going to be like, they pretty much just looked at everything that Microsoft didn't do, and then they decided to do it. But that being said, like, I really hope that Microsoft manages to pick up the pace and some stuff comes out, because man, when these two companies are fighting one another, that is when we all win big time.
Yeah,
that's when we see the awesome exclusives coming out.
It's going to be, I'm really intrigued to see what Microsoft has up their sleeves at E3 this year.
Totally.
They got their own whole venue, which is, adjacent to E3. People are like, oh, that's another thing. Man, on the forums, Reset Era is so funny. Some people are on there are so ridiculous. Where the hell is Microsoft? And it's like, I know you guys, if you're on a forum, I don't understand. I'm pretty sure you pay attention to what's going on, and you knew or heard that Microsoft had Microsoft Theater.
Right.
It's just weird that on the forums you find people that are like, oh, Microsoft's not at E3. This is spelling trouble to them. And then someone's like, no, they actually announced they were over here. And it's like, I find it funny that people on the forums don't miss that somehow, because if you're on the forum, I'm pretty sure you're all over all the news on the internet. It's almost like they're being trolling, just trying to take digs at Microsoft.
No, that's
I'm really
exactly
excited
what it is, right?
I'm really excited because they've got their own venue to see what's going on there.
Yeah. So it's interesting. It's just interesting news. So moving along. No, it's all good.
I've been coughing like crazy. I just keep muting the microphone.
All of a sudden, I'm not sure if you're like Skype disappeared or something.
No, it's good.
Just like, oh, did I? Oh,
if you don't hear from me, just vamp, because that means I'm like having like a coughing fit. I don't know what's going on right now.
Do you need a glass of water? Do I need to cover for you where you can go get a glass of water?
I don't think I need water. I just think I'm an idiot and I shouldn't have mowed the lawn before fucking recording the show.
A podcast.
I'm a person who has allergies and I'm an idiot.
In other news, they're saying that rumors are the upcoming Battlefield 5 will include compelling single-player stories.
Hopefully. I was really let down by Battlefield 1's campaign. I did not like it. And I said
and I disagreed. I really liked Battlefield 1.
Yeah, but you're never right, and I'm always right, and you're wrong.
Well, thank God that's
fine.
True.
Lots of people liked it. It just didn't resonate with me, and that's what I said last time too.
Yeah, we also played Titanfall 2 at the same time, practically.
I don't think I liked... Yeah, and that was a fantastic campaign.
No, it absolutely was, but I just think like there was a huge disconnect between running on the walls and jumping in and out of freaking Titans and then trying to play Battlefield 1.
The different vignettes of jumping between the different characters, I just never got to play any of them long enough to care.
See, I really liked that. I really, really liked that. So
I know, lots of people did. I'm more an outlier, I believe. I think more people liked it than didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not surprising. Hopefully it's good. Or better, in my opinion.
So it sounds like they're doing a similar thing again. It's very curious because apparently this next Battlefield 5 they're saying is there's a good chance it's returning to World War II again. Which is kind of interesting. So we'll see what happens with that. More to come at E3, obviously.
Yeah, it'll be there.
Yeah,
Did you see this fun story today?
I did. Where Walmart kind of came out and like smacked everybody upside the head.
Not Walmart, like Walmart Canada.
Yeah, I saw
kind
this.
of like leaked their pre-order stuff. Now, a lot of this is known.
And again, let's also take some of this with a grain of salt because we've
like
seen
how accurate some of it is because, you know, let's be honest. Like we know all these games are coming, except for there were a couple.
There's a couple
ones.
in here that I was like about the what?
Forza Horizon 5. There is no Forza Horizon 4, so that's kind of weird.
Right.
Dragon Quest 2, probably just a placeholder for Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Yeah.
You know, Borderlands 3, we know that's coming. There's a blank Assassin's Creed game. Destiny Comet.
People are saying that might be a remake of the first one that's being remastered, which wouldn't surprise me, to be honest with you. Assassin's Creed, like...
Destiny Comet, which is basically just the code name, I assume, for the fall expansion or game. I assume it'll be a full game as opposed to just an expansion. I don't know. It's
I'm
fully
sure
priced.
they're gonna...
It's $79.
It wouldn't surprise me if they do a similar thing that they did with the Taken King, where you get the original game with the added expansions plus the second,
the extra meaty juicy expansion. Yeah, I guess
exactly. And then they'll probably have a $40 version of it for the people that already own everything.
Weird one that was revealed, Rage 2.
I read that and I went like, I don't know, man. Like that first Rage game, from what I remember, did not sell well.
I think it did fine. I didn't mind that game. I liked that game.
I don't believe it sold very well though. Like
it's funny that Pete Hines, I think Bethesda owns that franchise, I believe.
Yeah, it was an id game.
And I believe Pete Hines on Twitter had a really snarky, funny comment to Walmart.
Okay.
Where he highlighted that wrong box art, wrong font, wrong, like, there was no denial that the game's coming.
Right.
It was just a very humorful, like, poking fun at, like, by the way, yeah, none of these have box art. They're just blank black boxes with, like, flat text on them saying the titles. So
right.
Clearly this was probably pre-order stuff that wasn't supposed to go live until
E3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hard to say.
So, yeah.
There apparently, to be fair, a sequel was planned for Rage 2 by the developer after the game's release. But apparently that project was canceled in 2012 in favor of focusing on Doom. Although future development of a sequel is a possibility. So, who knows?
It was kind of fun watching the internet blow up this morning when that story leaked. So,
fair enough.
Steam Link is coming to mobile platforms, Android and iOS. Now you'll be able to stream your Steam library games to your cell phone.
Can I then hook up a controller or something to my cell phone?
You can use the Steam controller. I don't know what MFI controller stands for, but I assume any controller that connects your phone via Bluetooth for the most part would work. Some better than others, obviously. I assume this is in-home streaming and not just like the Steam Link is now, not over the internet.
I wonder if that would also work with tablets as well.
Yeah, well, Android, iOS, why not?
Because I'm just looking at my phone right now and
May 21st.
Trying to play a game on that screen doesn't seem awesome. But if I had like a tablet, I could see that maybe being all right.
I got the clip for the 8BitDo controller that holds a cell phone, and it works pretty nice. Because remember when I was in the kick for playing retro games on my Android?
This is true.
I'm intrigued. I'm sure I will find a use for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that kind of came out of nowhere.
Did they release a Steam Link like app that you could put on, like, say for example, I could put it on my laptop and then stream my games from my desktop to my laptop?
Yeah, that's just in-home streaming. That's just part of Steam.
Okay.
You've been able to do that for years. I'm pretty sure I've talked about it on this podcast a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I knew you could do it with like Shadow Play or whatever on the...
No, it's not Shadow Play. It's right through Steam.
Huh.
Like I have
around with that.
I have Steam installed on my Mac.
Right. Yes, I remember now. We've talked about this.
I had it on my MacBook Air and I was streaming. I believe I was streaming, not Destiny. What was I streaming? I can't remember, but it works awesome.
Fallout 4 or something.
It works amazing in home. But it doesn't work over the internet, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I guess they just don't want to deal with the lag or potential for lag and a
Potential
negative
for
experience.
all kinds of crazy things, yeah.
So they just kind of limit it to being at home.
That's what you got GeForce Now for.
Exactly. So moving along to Nintendo news. Nintendo Switch Online service. Details were revealed randomly last night for some reason.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. It
No
was just
direct,
like, oh,
just
surprise,
out
here
of
you
the
go.
blue. We knew it was launching in September, though I think it was supposed to be September last year originally.
Or the year before.
It does have cloud saves. It does have a collection of free NES games. They announced 20 games that will be available. It's $20 a year, American.
So
I think
$30 a year Canadian or something.
$34.99, I think, for the family plan, which allows up to 8 accounts. Already the internet was talking about, oh man, we can all just pay $4 each and share a family account. Whether that'll work or not, I have no idea. That's cool. I could use cloud saves.
The only part of this for me that is a win is how cheap it is.
Oh yeah, it's super cheap.
Everything else about this, personally, is kind of underwhelming.
I don't understand how it's so inexpensive.
Well, because they're getting... Yeah, to me, it sounds like what you're paying for is the bandwidth and the storage space to save for your saves. And the NES games are kind of like a little bonus thing to make people feel like they're getting a bonus. Because the only thing you're really paying for is... And the other thing that sucks about this...
play.
Yeah, is essentially all the games that people have been playing free online from the beginning of the Switch till now, all of those, once this launches, you are going to have to pay for this service in order to play them. So Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, all those games are no longer going to be free online play. You will have to pay for their service, which I understand. That makes sense if you would have launched this with... if you would have launched this service with the Switch the way you were supposed to, that would make sense. But to retroactively enable this on those kind of feels like a big fuck you to the people that have been playing those games since the beginning. Yeah,
there's some people feel like that the inclusion of games and basically saying that Virtual Console isn't coming is a big fuck you. But that's not surprising. So in Canadian dollars, it's $24.99 for 12 months and $44.99 for the family membership.
Right.
I posted because before they announced no Virtual Console, they announced these details. I was on the forums and I'm like, before Nintendo even announced it, because I think that may have happened the next day, I was like, oh, that spells the end of
Virtual
Console. I'm like, it ain't coming. Because to be honest, I don't care to buy all those old games again. With the NES Mini and the Super NES Classic, I'm kind of satisfied in that regard. Yeah, would it be nice to have those games on my Switch? For sure. But if they're included with this it's very inexpensive yearly fee.
It is.
I don't know if they're going to rotate them all or if they're just going to keep adding to it. That's going to be the really dictating factor on how valuable this feature is.
For me, the thing is that if they start rotating in other platforms besides just the NES, if they start rotating in Super Nintendo or they go to third parties and they rotate in like some Genesis games or some Master System games, or heaven forbid some TurboGrafx 16 games, then I'll be very interested in this. That to me would be incredible.
That'll make this. I'm
not gonna lie.
To be honest,
I don't really care about playing. Like, I'm looking at this list here: Ice Climber, Legend of Zelda, Balloon Fight, Soccer Tennis, Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, Dr. Mario, Super Mario Brothers 3, Donkey Kong. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a handful of games on there that I might play again.
Yeah, I think Mario 3 is the only thing I'd care to play there, and maybe Zelda.
Exactly. So
and I already have those.
Out of that list, I don't really care. So already your list of games, I don't really give a shit about. I don't really care about online play. The only thing, like, I am going to pay for this so that I have fucking cloud saves for my Switch.
Yeah.
And I mean, and luckily it's cheap enough that I can go, okay, $25 a year. I get cloud saves for my Switch, and at least if something happens to my Switch, I'm not fucked.
And everything else is bonus. I'm not so upset about it as some people are. I'm totally fine with it. And it makes sense. Like, from Nintendo's standpoint, selling millions of yearly memberships makes them more money than the one super fanboy who buys every virtual console game.
Do I still think that they should have offered cloud saves from the beginning? Hell yeah.
Yeah,
or should they at least offer a local storage, like you can upload your saves to a USB stick?
Yeah.
I totally think so. Do I look at all of this and do I still think that their online strategy is total and utter dog shit? Absolutely. Online friend codes? What? That's still a thing you're going to try and do? Like, they're still pushing voice chat over their fucking app? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, so much of this online service, to me, I just want to, like, I cannot help but go to Nintendo and I look at them and go, like, what the like, who is in charge of this shit? Like seriously, all of your competitors have been doing this for years and doing it well. All you had to do was, like, look at what they're doing and go, okay, let's put a slight Nintendo spin on this and like let's do it. And instead you totally, like, it. I mean, yes, Nintendo and the internet, it's like they don't understand how any of it fucking works. It just it's like as soon as you add the internet and Nintendo, it's like they lose their minds. I do not understand, and I don't know if I ever will. And I really hope, I really hope that with their new CEO and some new people at the head of this thing, that they're gonna get it. But I have such small hope for that at this point, where it has just been, this is their third internet freaking, well, technically their fourth internet console, and they've yet to figure out how the internet works and how they can utilize it the best.
I don't. The really depressing thing to me about the Switch is that it seems like it can't do voice chat through the system.
It absolutely can. That's the worst part.
I know, but it's like they just refuse. I don't know why they refuse to do it. Like, the last thing I want to do is use my freaking phone like that.
Right.
It's so cumbersome and annoying.
Stupid. Like, yeah. And the system absolutely does have the capability to do that. There was, what game was it? There was a game a while ago where, like, they essentially had that stuff in there, but they had to, like, brick it off. Because
I have no idea.
Yeah, because, like, let's be honest, it's a freaking Tegra. It is just a Shield tablet, more or less, and you can do all of that. You could talk and do voice all over Android and Discord and everything else on the Shield tablet. So you mean to tell me that none of that stuff is in there?
Yeah.
When that's essentially the exact same tablet that the Switch is?
I really want them to release Fortnite on the Switch.
Keep dreaming, I guess. I mean, it wouldn't. I totally think it could happen.
Oh, it's absolutely coming.
So
I just think they're dummies and they're going to wait until E3 to announce it.
Anyways, let's move on. This is upsetting me. Nintendo,
PlayStation news. God of War sold 3.1 million copies in 3 days.
Wow, it's 1 million copies a day. That's crazy.
It is the fastest first-party PS4 exclusive to date.
That's
Beating
insane.
out even Uncharted 4. And
Makes sense.
Others.
Game is real good.
It's the freaking amazing game, so it absolutely makes sense. So that's pretty freaking awesome for those guys. We already knew, there was no doubt that there was going to be a sequel. We already knew this game was awesome, as I had told you all before. So yeah, that's pretty, Jesus, that's awesome for those guys. They must be so excited.
Dude, it's really too bad that single player games don't sell very well.
Yeah, man, EA, I don't know. They're so ahead of the curve knowing these trends in gaming.
Oh.
I don't think it's EA that just said that. I think it's a lot of other corporate stooges who said that. Speaking of God of War, there's a patch today that added the cool photo mode,
That's awesome.
which looks pretty rad.
I'm really glad that I'm going to be playing through 80% of that game with photo mode enabled.
I got to go back and screw around with it.
Yeah.
But, man, my new pile of shame is already growing so bad.
Yeah, it's actually brutal because I'm like, all I want to do is play God of War, but it's because it's on my PS4, it's a lot harder for me to like get time to do it. To steal the whole TV and kick my wife off. And
your monitor doesn't have HDMI input?
I'm not going to pull my whole area apart so that I got my whole like my headset and everything connected in permanently, and like it's all cabled and managed, and I'm not removing it from underneath my television at this point. It's not worth the hassle.
If you haven't played that game, go do it. Seriously.
Not only that, but my wife plays Diablo 3 all the time, so
moving along. Xbox news. Burnout Revenge is now backwards compatible on Xbox One.
I played a lot of that game.
Is a lot of people's favorite Burnout game.
It was a good game.
It's a fantastic game.
It was a lot of fun. I played the crap out of it on PS2, actually.
I played the hell out of it on, I believe, a
Xbox 360. It did come out on 360. It came out on Xbox and PS2, and then it came out on 360 after.
That is right. I played it originally on the original Xbox.
Okay.
You know where I played it? In the back of my van when we were driving to Las Vegas.
Were you parked down by the river?
No. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Rewind this story when I talk about my van. There was a time period where me and my friends were crazy.
You owned a van down by the river?
No.
Oh.
We were lunatics, and we were also very thrifty. And we would drive to Vegas for New Year's. I think we did it like 4 or 5 years in a row.
Okay.
And we would drive nonstop. It's like a 24-hour drive.
Wow.
We would drive nonstop, take turns, like 8-hour stints, 6-hour stints, and take turns and just go nonstop. Oh man, we destroyed my van. It was so hard on that poor thing. That was not a good idea.
I could see that.
But I would go buy a small TV and an inverter, and yeah, during a couple of our trips, this is like Xbox era, I had the Xbox in the vehicle, and we'd like be playing hockey or Burnout, or we'd have some game going in the back, and or like a movie or whatnot, for the guys sitting in the back of the van, because there's usually like 4 or 5 of us that would drive down. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And this game, playing a car crashing game while racing down the highway. While driving is pretty funny. Well, not driving, because the TV was in the back of the vehicle, so the driver couldn't see it, so it wasn't a distraction for him.
Right.
May have been all our hooting and hollering. But whoever was in shotgun had to kind of keep the driver company, and then whoever was in the back got video game duty.
Right.
That was rad. That game brings back memories of that. That was a lot of fun.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it's back compat, so there you go.
Sweet.
I don't think I'll be buying it again. It has a special place in my heart.
Fair enough, man.
Let's get into our public service announcements section. I haven't had one of these for a while. We were just talking about Destiny 2. Destiny 2 is $12 on Humble Monthly.
That's crazy cheap.
Yeah. So if you were on the fence about playing Destiny 2, and of course the best version of Destiny 2 on PC, it's $12 through Humble Monthly. And that's just the first announced game, which you can play like immediately come the end of May or first couple days of June when this bundle is revealed. There will be like 5 or 6 other games. It's kind of like a loot crate for PC games. I've talked about it before on this show.
Yeah.
If you have a PC, you should just subscribe to Humble Bundle.
It's
Humble
a pretty
Monthly.
good deal.
There is amazing games every month.
It's a pretty awesome deal for sure.
It is a fantastic deal. So yeah, Destiny 2, that's pretty huge title. Obviously good timing with the expansion. So if you're thinking about going whole hog, getting into Destiny and getting the expansions, this is a very inexpensive way to do it.
That's super true, actually. I do want to point out as well, not to rewind, but back to Nintendo news, which we totally forgot to talk about. They announced a Nintendo Switch adjustable charging stand.
Oh, yeah.
So it allows you to plug your Switch into the bottom. It has a little stand leg on it. Essentially, it allows you to put your Switch in the upright position and charge it at the same time. Because Nintendo didn't think, hey, let's put the charging port on the top. So it's going to be $20. Apparently, it's coming in July. And yeah.
It's not a dock. It's a charging stand.
Exactly. It's definitely not a dock. It doesn't have
fail.
HDMI. All it is you plug your Switch in, and instead of using the built-in stand, because again, if you try to use that with the charger in it, it doesn't work.
No.
So this way, it allows you to plug it in, and it's got a little stand on it, and now it's propped up, and you can play games.
Yeah. If you're in handheld mode, it is kind of handy, I guess. You can continue playing, because otherwise you'd have to get the TV, and if the TV was in use and you needed a charger, kind of like SOL.
Yep. So there you go.
Yeah, that's it for public service announcements. Let's get into our free-for-all section. Let's get ready to rumble.
Dun, 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 dun.
Mortal Kombat. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Dane did not see Infinity War last week, so we could not talk about it. He has seen it now.
I have.
Should we stay spoiler-free? Maybe
We could record a spoiler cast next week.
Yeah, go another week and then do a spoiler cast.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, Infinity War. We've both seen it. What did you think, Dane?
It's great. It was really, really good. They managed to have a lot of very complicated storylines, and they managed to keep them all on track, and you can follow them all, and it didn't feel like anybody got lost in it. Everybody got some like pretty good screen time.
Yeah, nobody was like too much of this guy and too little of that guy.
Totally. They did a really good job of that. It bounced around, but in a good way. I think it's super interesting to see where they go from here. Obviously, it leaves it on an interesting. It leaves it in an interesting place. That's kind of all I'll say about that. But yeah, really, really liked it. I want to go see it again. Actually,
yeah, I'm dying to see it again.
I really want to see it in like IMAX or something. I just saw it at a local theater like close by because I wanted to see it, but I kind of want to see it again in IMAX or AVX because I feel like that's just such a spectacle that it deserves to be seen in something like that.
We saw it in 3D. It wasn't IMAX, but I want to see it in IMAX non 3D is what I want to see it in.
Yeah, I don't even know if they're offering that locally or not, or if it's just in 3D, but it is definitely in IMAX. So, yeah, I know that. Like, oh man, I have many thoughts on that film, but a lot of them really have to do with spoilers, and it's hard to talk about
super
without
spoilery.
Yeah, without any spoilers.
It was impressive just to see the culmination of all these movies, all these characters come together so seamlessly.
Yeah, that was
just, so well executed. How they balanced all the different.
That was actually one of the biggest things that I was really impressed with. Actually, is that some of the movies and some of the stories have very different feels, and like for example, Guardians of the Galaxy tends to be quite light and kind of funny. Thor traditionally had been a little bit more serious, but recently with the last like Thor Ragnarok, it kind of took a much more of a Guardians kind of tone to it. Like it's still dealing with dark subject matter, but it had more of a comedic
They definitely ramped
tone.
up the humor a little bit.
Yeah, whereas like if you watch Doctor Strange, it's a fairly serious film. Like there's obviously people in it that are a bit of comedy relief, but overall it's quite serious. And same with Black Panther. Like it was quite a serious feeling film.
Yeah, there was little humor, but not as much as Guardians or Iron Man and stuff.
Exactly. And I thought they did a really good job of bringing all of that together, but not having it feel weird. Like the Guardians characters and their light and kind of funniness mixed with other people, and it all just kind of worked. And I was really impressed with that.
It's also really cool, and I didn't really expect it. Like this movie, and this isn't a spoiler. It's a movie. This movie is about Thanos. I think he is in almost every scene.
Yeah,
if not on the edge of it.
Yeah, it's and I mean I don't think that you could do it any other way, especially with how it gets left and stuff.
It's his story for sure.
Totally.
And so and they did the perfect thing of like, it's like Killmonger in Black Panther, another amazing villain that you have sympathy for. You love him,
sympathy, but you definitely
love him and you hate him
where
all
he's
at the
coming
same time.
from in a weird way.
Yeah, like I wasn't rooting for him to lose, but at the same time, you don't want him to win.
Right.
But it's like you felt for him to a certain degree, and it's like, oh, he's so what an awesome villain! Like, oh my god,
they did a good job. They really
did a fantastic job.
Yeah,
I really want. I think we need to give it another week, and then I think we should go into some spoilers.
Yeah,
because I don't think everyone's seen it yet. But go see this movie if you like any single one of any of the Marvel movies.
That being
obviously
said,
helps.
I will say I feel that this is also a film, though, that like if you haven't watched, any of the Marvel films, like if you haven't watched, honestly, like pretty much, if you haven't been following along, at least somewhat up to date, like if you've only watched like the first Avengers and maybe the first Captain America movie, you're gonna be kind of going like, what the fuck is going on here?
You're definitely gonna be doing yourself a disservice. I don't think you need to see them all.
No, but I like knowing who Doctor Strange is. He has a huge part in this film, really important.
That was
same with Black Panther. Like I feel like you kind of need to know who Black Panther is. So like if you're not a fan of the comic and you didn't watch the Black Panther film, I feel like that should be homework before you watch this.
And this
Civil War, you have to watch before this.
Yeah,
and honestly, the last two Avengers films you have to watch before this as well.
This literally also picks up right at the end of Thor.
Right,
like Thor goes directly into this.
Yeah, like Thor Ragnarok pretty much ends, and this movie picks up right there. Like, which was, again, something lucky for me and my wife, because we just watched Thor Ragnarok a couple weeks ago.
What a fantastic movie.
So it was, like, super fresh in our brain. So when we got into the theater and this started, we were both like, holy crap, that was just what, like, we just saw that happening in Thor Ragnarok. Like, that's where they ended Thor Ragnarok. So yeah, so, like, I do think that is kind of important. And like, this is really a accumulation of all of those other films. And, you know, I think that for some people that's going to be a bit of a turnoff, but I think that for the people that have been along for this ride, it is such an amazing feat that they managed to build for as long as they have over the course of as many films as they have. And not just films, you know, the TV shows and other forms of media that they've managed to kind of tack on as well. And this coming out at the other end is incredible. Like, I think that this, I think, can honestly say, I don't know if there's ever been a film like this. And no. I don't mean it from a like, oh, it's amazing, it's the best movie ever made or anything like that. I just mean from a storytelling, world-building universe, nothing like this has ever happened.
No, I don't think any franchise has ever had like over 10 movies and so many characters, and to have them like you still be in love with them and fresh and not tired. You know what I mean? Like, that's impressive too, right?
Well, I mean, when did, like, technically the MCU sort of started with...
I think it's 10 years now.
Technically, I think it started with the Incredible Hulk, because the post-credit scene in the Incredible Hulk was Samuel L. Jackson trying to recruit Bruce Banner into a team that he was putting together. And then
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, but for most people, it started with Iron Man, right?
Yeah.
That was the next film that came out, and that was Iron Man, and that's kind of where the whole thing kicked off. So yeah, I mean, when did Iron Man come out? Like, it's got to be almost at least 10 years by now. And that's incredible when you think about the fact that they have been literally building to this moment. And the thing that we also know is that they filmed this movie and the next Avengers movie, they filmed them back to back. So the next Avengers movie is essentially already done. So it's coming out next year, but that's kind of, in a weird way, the end of this story and this sort of what they've been building for as long as they've been building it for at this point. And I think that that's going to be there's going to be a lot of change. There's already a lot of change happening in the universe, but with that film, there's going to be a lot of change. And I'll be very curious to sort of see, you know, because they've managed to keep the people that they've managed to keep on board for this long. You know, they've had Robert Downey Jr. for 10 years building on not just Avengers, but in, you know, showing up in the Spider-Man movie and showing up in all these other films, and Chris Evans being Captain America and doing his thing. Like, it's honestly, it's crazy. It's honestly crazy. And they pulled it off. They managed to somehow figure out, hey, we're going to do what they do in the comic books, but we're going to do it on the screen. And we're seeing it come together in this film, and they did such a good job. They really, really did.
Yeah. I loved it. I'm dying to see it again.
Yeah, like it's a film that deserves to be seen on the biggest screen you can, because it is big and crazy, and if you love any of those characters, man, like, I love Doctor Strange, and they did him such great justice.
Watching this reminds me how good Doctor Strange was, and that I want to watch that again.
I know. And it made me want to watch Spider-Man again, because those are two of my favorite characters.
Spider-Man again. I enjoyed. I'm halfway through Thor. I've been watching Thor in my like half-hour, 20-minute workout exercise.
Yeah.
So that's been
cool, man. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's really good.
Clearly, like if you listen to this show, you've probably seen it, but some of you, maybe some life has gotten in the way and you haven't been able to check it out yet.
Yeah, we'll do a spoiler cast next week.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I think, Dane, that's a show. Episode 155.
Sweet.
I did not have time to compile a list of entries for the Super Nintendo. I have stopped taking entries, so as we get more reviews, your odds of winning are not going down.
Okay.
I'm not counting any new ones now after this week. It was the last week, so
we will have a winner next week, right?
So you've got a 1 in 32 odds of winning, which are pretty damn good.
That's pretty sweet.
And which is great because when we started this, we were at 9 reviews. So I'm pretty happy in a month that we've gotten so many reviews.
That's awesome. We got cool listeners.
Yeah, thank you for everyone who has jumped through that pain in the ass hoop to do that. Speaking of which, sounds like Google's doing a bunch of big changes for podcast support.
Yeah.
Maybe potentially they will have like a reporting rating system coming out. I don't know.
I hope so.
Sounds like they're adding some native support to Android and the newer OSs for better podcast support.
Yeah, they've pretty much said they want to become the place where people go to get podcasts.
Yeah, they just had
iTunes.
Google I/O, and I saw the new version of Android, and I can load it on my phone. I'm like, do I want to do that, or do I want to just make sure my phone doesn't break?
You don't want to do that yet.
But yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at RickF, no K, RICF.
And as always, you can come bug me on Twitter at Dane Cody at DAYNECODY.
Make sure to rate us on iTunes, just like I said, Geekoholics Anonymous podcast. Like us on Facebook.com/Geekoholics. Subscribe to us on YouTube.com/Geekoholics. Follow us on Twitter at Geekoholics, Instagram at Geekoholics. You know, where all good Geekoholics are found. We're everywhere. We got Geekoholics everywhere.
Sweet.
.com. Oh, and actually, quick reminder, speaking of iTunes reviews, the new hook I've got going on right now, I've got a link on our website. If you go to Geekoholics.com, or you can go to bit.ly/crazy contest is the short link.
Ooh.
If you rate and review the podcast, leave a comment on the post on the website. You can choose one of over 130 PC Steam games.
Wow.
You choose. Guaranteed. You leave a review, leave a comment on our website. Through the commenting system on the website, you have to obviously register, so I will have your email, so then I can email you the code, so no worries about how I get it to you.
Sweet.
But yeah, if you leave a review, leave a comment with what game out of that list you want. So far, we've only had one taker. So there's a lot of games. There's some good stuff there, man.
Sweet.
Guaranteed contest that you win. And you even get to choose what you get.
And you get in early, you get to choose better stuff.
Yeah, so check it out if you are unaware or you're running Steam. And you know what? Honestly, if you've already reviewed us and you want one of those games, at first I was like, nah, I'm going to just do this for reviews going forward. I don't care. If you've already reviewed us, put a comment on that story with your username that you used so I can go to iTunes and I can confirm that you left a review, and I will get you a game as a thank you for already.
Sweet. That sounds like a pretty good deal.
For anyone who hasn't done that, get yourself a game, man. I got 130. I got to get rid of them. I ain't got no time to play them all.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's it. Until next week, I'm going to say we are out.
Catch you later.
Peace.